and I'm just joking with him or whatever. And I go, so are you like Andy? Are you related to Andy? He goes, yeah, I'm his son. I was like, what? And and I have like a client and his family's there, and they're all like nodding at me. I'm like, are you guys like expert level trolls? Am I, am I falling for some kind of joke that you're doing? And no, it turns out he was
Actually
Andy's son. So we're here live at CPAC with Leo Zacky, and you are running for governor of California.
Yep.
And you spoke here at CPAC.
I did. Yeah.
Yesterday.
I sure did.
So challenging Gavin Newsom. I'm going to.
Better. He's termed out. It's an open seat, baby.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Bad news is he wants to run for president in 2028.
Of course.
So that's what we're going
That's going to be tough because he's a pretty boy.
Why do people say that? I don't think he's good looking.
No.
Not my opinion.
I mean, you're not a bad looking guy.
I think I'm pretty handsome.
Yeah. You got that like tall, dark, and handsome thing going.
Well, I'll take all those. Thank you.
You're welcome. So what is it like to run your campaign? What do you
What's it like?
Yeah.
It's not easy, that's for sure. I'm in California. There's a Democrat supermajority. It's the propaganda, epicenter of the world right now. This is where all the fake news really comes out of, the wokeness. Yep. And people are brainwashed, unfortunately. However, the good news is, and this is what I was talking about yesterday in my speech, is that California is ready for change. And it's due to all the failures that the current leadership, over the last few decades has been. California's had a Democrat majority in Sacramento since the 70s. And since the 90s, it's gotten exponentially worse. I mean, I grew up in California my whole life. Family's been there 120 years.
Wow.
And we were in the poultry industry. So for 90 years, my great-grandfather started it back in 1928. And we became the largest privately owned employer in the state of California, the largest poultry producer on the West Coast, and got wiped out because of the poor policies in California that made it anti-competitive. And so we had to shut our doors and put over 1,000 people out of work.
Oh my God. I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's my story. But when it comes to running a campaign, there are a lot of good people in California, a lot of grassroots people that want to see the change, are ready for it, and are helping me tremendously. And I'm getting a lot of momentum going. And I mean, hell, I was a speaker at CPAC, so I think that's a good sign.
So that is a good sign. So tell us about how because California has this real weird, different election system to where you basically can't even be a Republican on because they can have explain how the system works.
Okay, so it's called a jungle primary, which is everybody who runs, regardless of party affiliation, is on the ballot during the primary, and the top two vote getters move on to the general. So there have been a lot of instances where you'll have Democrats face off in the general. However, that's not always the case. And in the last several gubernatorial election cycles, it's been Republican versus Democrat. So people are ready for change in California. Problem is they haven't had a great candidate come along. Now, they've gotten some okay ones, middle-of-the-road ones, and that's kind of been the loser attitude that we've had as Republicans in California for a long time. And I'm here to shake it up and say, no, you've got a great candidate with me now.
Okay, well, Leo, then what makes you a great candidate?
Well, I'm solution-based. I'm from California, fourth generation. I've been in the agriculture industry. I was an executive with my family's company, and I worked my way up to earning that position. It wasn't just handed to me. I was also a board member for the California Poultry Federation for a decade, and I would go to D.C. and Sacramento and meet with the EPA, the USDA, the FDA, the senators, congressmen, state reps, state senators. So I've met these people. I've dealt with them firsthand. I know how messed up the system is. I know how crappy they are as leaders. And I want to make that change. And so using my business insight and my farming background and, well, really just common sense, that's the biggest thing that we're missing. I've developed simple solutions to the key foundational issues in California that impact everybody. And so by focusing on that and being a governor for everybody and not just one party, even though I'm a Republican, doesn't mean I'm going to be the Republican governor for Republicans only. I'm going to be the governor of California for all the people of California. And social issues are not my thing. Like all these social issues that people get, whipped up into a frenzy about, like abortion or gay marriage, it's already been decided and it's already established in the California Constitution. If people want to make changes to that, I suggest they go and get a ballot initiative together and get the signatures, put it on the ballot, and vote it in. I'm happy to sign it into law that way. But I'm not here to take away people's already rights given to them by the current state constitution.
So, a couple of questions. We've had some discussions on the show today, yesterday, about when a politician is, God forbid, but probably the grip's coming from the position is that if they lose the next election, now they're destitute. They don't know where their jobs are going to be coming from, so they got to line themselves up one of these consulting gigs or a cush position at a place that they formerly regulated. So they're incentivized to bribe, essentially.
Right.
The take bribes. We'll pay you now, or we'll pay you later. Give us what we need. Stay on our good graces. Make these relationships with these companies we're going to go to.
I mean, we've seen that in the USDA and the FDA already. Like I said, they go in, they get put in as legislators and bureaucrats and lawmakers. And they do that for a couple of years, and then they pass definitely not the best for the people laws that certainly promote those big megacorps, and then they come out of it, and the big megacorp turns around and gives them a high-paying job with a pension.
Right.
But I mean,
and they all know the system.
Right. I mean, but I'm not that guy.
So how are you financed? How are you financing this? And how is it that you wouldn't slide into that same grift?
Well, I don't need the money. We're fine. Like I said, we were the largest privately owned employer in the state of California. I mean, we're not as wealthy as we once were because we went through the whole bankruptcy process and closing our business. But I mean, I'm in a position where I can afford to have the seed capital to run for governor. And like I said before, there's so many great grassroots people that want to see the change in California. So they're helping me out. And I've also been getting in front of a lot of other wealthy people. I go all over the country meeting folks who want to get behind me and are getting ready to get behind me. So now it's the big fundraising process, and that's what we're going to be doing.
How much does it cost you to get into the process so far?
I'm doing this since the 2021 recall, and I ran in 22. So I'm probably in for, I don't know, at least $500,000 at this point. But that's the thing. Like, you don't have to hire consultants that are exorbitantly expensive and waste money here and waste money there. I'm really good at running a tight ship on a shoestring budget. And you can see that with my past success in the previous election. Yeah, obviously I didn't win, but considering how
did you turn out?
Out of 48 candidates, I was 5th overall. Excuse me, 8th overall, 5th in the Republicans, but number 1 in dollars to votes. And I came in at under $1 a vote. And everybody who outperformed me vote-wise spent 5 to 20x the amount of money I did.
Wow.
The only outside people I hired was a treasurer. I did everything else in-house myself, from marketing and stuff. I have a friend who's a really good graphic designer. She helped me out for next to nothing costs. And I got about 100,000 votes, and I didn't spend $100,000 doing it.
Nice.
But name recognition really helps. Everybody knows Zacky Farms. That was my family's company. So with the 90-year heritage that we had in California, I mean, you ask anybody who's born and raised in California over the age of 40, they know it. They've probably had it from us on Thanksgiving. They had our hot dogs in the summer. They are eating our chicken year round, whether it was at home or at a restaurant.
Wow. What do you think the race ultimately, how much money do you think you're going to have to raise?
Probably 100 to 150 million bucks easy.
Wow.
And I think that's a conservative estimate.
Probably.
So, but it's doable. And what happens in California doesn't stay in California. We've seen that with policy. So that's why I'm going around the country getting help from people. I mean, people from Texas and Florida, New York, Colorado, Montana, Nevada, Arizona. Like, I'm getting donors from around the country because they know what happens in California impacts the rest of the nation. And bigger than that is that the industries that they're in can be affected by it too.
Absolutely. So, California is sort of becoming famous at screwing up. Well, California will screw it up first, and then it'll infect the rest of the country.
Yeah, that's unfortunately.
The plastic straws came out of.
Oh God. I know, right? As you look
at the most ridiculous,
right?
Example.
You look at the streets of San Francisco and LA, and you see all the trash and all the homeless. And you're like, no,
needles and everything.
Right?
But
and you're like, hold on, it's the straws.
No plastic straw. It's totally this plastic straws.
Yeah,
those plastic straws are sons of.
Yeah. Meanwhile, all the poison are found in the paper straws. But hey, we don't talk about that, right?
And they dissolve. They don't even function.
No,
You know what I like to do? I just like to drink it out of a glass.
Glass is the best way to go. That's the safest medium to drink things out of.
Well, Leo, I really appreciate. I'm sorry what happened to your family and what you've been through, but
hey, it's okay.
Sometimes it takes that to pull your true calling out.
Yeah, I mean, I wish I was still in the poultry industry. I built my life around that, and we were the gold standard for high quality poultry in the nation.
Do you see yourself coming back and reopening and going back into it at some point, or
you got a spare $250 million laying around?
Not yet.
No, but there's other cool things. I mean, just because I'm out of that doesn't mean I'm not doing other things. Like I own parts of a lot of different companies. One's takes in an industrial plastic waste and converts it into graphene nanotubes, which are used in electronics and to make alloys for building materials to make them stronger, and also helps clean up the environment. And then other companies that have been able to replicate the entire protein spectrum of almonds and agave, and we're working on sugarcane right now. You can replicate it without having to grow it in a soil medium, and it does it in half the time with a fraction of the water.
Interesting.
So there's a lot of environmental things that I'm working on as well.
Well, I hope that you can clean up politics as well as you can clean up the environment.
Oh, we can do that.
Thank you very much, Leo.
I really
keep
appreciate
in touch. Good luck, and hopefully we'll interview you after you become the governor.
You can do it before too. You don't have to wait that long.
We can, especially if either I'm in California or you're in Dallas.
Dallas.
That's where we're headquartered.
That's my favorite city in the whole country. I have so many friends there.
You might not want to say that running for governor of California.
Just kidding. As it currently make it a lot better. I still love LA. It's my home, and I love California. That's why I'm running and putting myself
I'm just teasing him, by the way.
But no, Dallas is a great city. You guys have a really good state. I'd love to emulate a lot of things that you're doing out there, especially that great oil industry. I want to bring that back to California too.
Wouldn't it be nice? There's a ton of oil, and
people don't know.
LA has itself is sitting on a huge bed of oil.
Yeah, but there's a lot of fake buildings in LA. Did you know this?
They're
facades. They're fake buildings. They're facades, and they're there to cover up and hide the shameful oil derricks.
Wow.
Yeah, but there's oil derricks in Beverly Hills all
so
over.
The fires in California.
Oh yeah,
that made your turning point of where California realizes this is nuts.
That is a big thing. I live right by where the fires were. I lost power, so I'm very lucky, but a lot of my friends weren't so lucky, lost their homes. This has really pushed Californians over the edge because it's the mismanagement of the state and the wildfires with the wildlands, and also
Trump warned them.
Well, I've been talking about this for 4 years too. And the lack of water. I mean, the fact that we didn't have water in a purpose-built reservoir.
How do you not have water? It's California.
And they say, well, it doesn't rain and we're in a drought. No, it does rain. We're in an artificial man-made drought because they dump the water to the sea, and it's about money. And I'm telling that's 100% why.
Of course it is.
It's
absolutely no question.
This is a business thing. It's supply and demand. When you artificially lower the supply to where the demand is, or even below it, you can artificially increase the price. And that's what it's about. They don't care about you. They don't care about your family, your business. They love making money, and that's why they're in power. For control and for money, and that's it.
Well, Leo, I hope you get him out of power and fix that stuff.
We're going to do it. Thanks, Dan.
Thank you. I'll talk to you soon.
100%.
We are live here at CPAC. That was Leo Zacky running for governor of California. This is the Lawyer Dana Show. Please like, subscribe, click that little button because we're still going live some more until 5:30 Eastern time today. So tell us what you think in the comments. This is the Lawyer Dana Show.